When I was 11 years old, my parents made me go to religious school every Saturday for 3 years. Since they had to do it when they were kids, they decided to put me through it. I didn't care for religion at all, and I told them multiple times how much I didn't want to go to this school and learn about something for which I do not care about in the slightest. The craziest part to me is that I think they spent around $4,000 a year in membership fees or whatever, and I would consistently tell them to their faces that you understand you're wasting thousands of dollars on this school knowing I hate it, sleep through it, and do not care about it, right? And their response would basically be that we understand you don't like it, but we don't really care, you're gonna do it. Now, I can understand if you're thinking at 11 years old, I don't really know what I'm saying or I can't make these decisions. Now, I would agree with you if this was about normal school because every kid hates school, but this was completely different. This school only taught about religion and studying a whole nother language for that religion or whatever. So it was pretty pointless because even if you're thinking that I'm 11 years old and I don't know what I'm talking about, you shouldn't force an 11-year-old into a religion, period. It shouldn't be the fact that you're young, so you have to let your parents force you into it. That has nothing to do with it. That's just ridiculous. I don't care what religion I am. I still wouldn't want to study it or care about it, even if I was a different religion. I don't care about any religion in general. I don't. I just don't. So it's not like I'm hating on religion. I just don't care about them. I don't want to do them. And this shouldn't be something you force people into, because then it becomes sort of like something that children come to resent, because a lot of children, a lot of my friends that I know hate religion because they were forced to do it all the time and they don't really like it. And as they get older, they start going away from it. You know, if it was the child's decision, I feel like a lot more children wouldn't steer away from it. You know, if they came to it on their own terms, then they'd probably be better off. In my opinion, this isn't something you should just force on your child, wasting thousands of dollars and making them go through something that they have no interest in. My parents should have asked me if I wanted to study religion, and if I thought it had any meaning to me. Now, yes, most children would say no, they don't care, but that's the thing. When you can study religion whenever you want in your life, it doesn't really matter. You can say no now, and then in 7 years, you might say yes. Say I become 18 and I really want to study religion. I can. When I have kids, I'm definitely not going to force them into religion. I'm going to ask them when they get to a certain age if they care about it or want to learn whatever. And if they do, good for them. I'll spend money on that, whatever. But I'm not going to force them into it. If they're like, no, I don't really care, I'm not going to say, well, too bad you're doing this because I had to do it. Or because I believe in it. Just because I believe in something or you believe in something doesn't mean that your child has to. They are completely different people. You can't just force them. You can guide them towards it and kind of talk to them about this is who we are or whatever, but you can't force them into believing something. They're still a separate person. So my parents made me go through all of this, but they weren't really religious and kind of said, since we had to go through it, we want you to go through it. And this is how all of our family has done it, and you're gonna do it. So I was never really forced to pay attention or do well. They just kind of wanted me to go through it, I guess. So ultimately, throughout my 3 years, I slacked off learning absolutely nothing. It's been about 4 to 5 years since then, and I remember literally nothing from it, just faint memories. I remember that I had a tutor who helped me understand the language or whatever, so I knew what to say for a speech I think I was doing. And after a month of studying and doing that tutor, the day came where I had my speech, and I learned absolutely nothing. I did not care about it, so they just decided to give me the English version instead because I didn't learn anything from that tutor. It was a waste of time and money, to be honest, and I just read the English version instead, which is kind of defeating the purpose. So we just spent hundreds of dollars for no reason, and my parents didn't seem to care about that. They knew. They didn't care, which makes no sense. It was ridiculous. Now, me and my friends messed around for years in that school doing random stuff, sleeping, roaming in the halls, and even blatantly telling the teachers pretty much that we didn't care and just showing that we had no interest in being there. It wasn't only me that didn't care about school or religion. There were other people there that felt the same and their parents were forcing them into this, and there were also a bunch of people that did care about it, and that was their choice. That makes sense, it's fine. You do you, man. Now, I don't have an issue with religion in general, as I've said before. I like my religion. I'm not hating on any of them. I'm just saying I don't want to be forced into them, and I don't want to have to do any of the stuff that comes with religion, such as going to meetings or praying, all of that stuff. I don't care. Like, I'm fine with being in a religion. Like, I don't care. I guess yeah, it's a part of me. But, like, I'm not going to do anything around that other than just having it associated with me. I'm not going to study any of this stuff that I don't really believe in. I don't care about it at all. I don't care about any of it. During some of the services when we were kids, sitting there for 5+ hours listening to someone just yap, I would fall asleep and my parents would scream at me to wake up, saying it's disrespectful. And I get that. Yes, I guess it's disrespectful, but what's also disrespectful is forcing your 11-year-old child to do something or go somewhere that he doesn't believe in. Because imagine you're adopted and you're Christian, but you're raised Christian, and then your parents make you go to a completely different religion, and they're making you sit through that. You're not going to be happy because that's not your religion. You don't believe in that. When I finally finished all of the schooling and didn't have to do anything else, I told them that I was never going back there again for any of the services or anything else. And they said, yeah, that's fine. You completed it, so we don't really care. My parents still go to some of the events they have and stuff, which is up to them, and that's fine. They're not major on it, but I feel like they just kind of wanted me to do it because they had to do it, and it's like, I guess, a part of our family or whatever. It doesn't really matter, but they were pretty chill about it and lenient. They just said I had to do it, which I was kind of sad about because, like, I didn't care about it at all. I'm definitely glad and grateful they didn't force me to do any of it after I graduated. After I graduated, they said, no, you don't have to go back to any of them if you don't want. And I was like, okay, that's perfectly fine. I'm happy. So basically, I believe that you should ask your child if they want to go through with studying religion or not, since it only has value to you if you really believe in it and care for it. I personally don't believe in any religion, but that doesn't mean I hate my own. Like, I like mine. I like it completely fine. It's great. But I don't care about learning more about it or studying it or going to any of those meetings and praying about it. I believe that as long as you're a good person, that's probably good enough. And you shouldn't have to spend thousands of dollars or years of your time praying to a god and studying religion and furthering your knowledge of it to get into heaven or whatever. I don't think any of that matters. I think if you're a good person and maybe if you do believe in God, then you just talk to him every once in a while or whatever, and you're probably good. I don't think you need to spend thousands of dollars to, get into heaven. I feel like that's ridiculous. Paying all of these fees and stuff. That's just stupid. But that's pretty much it for me. See ya.